Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willow Journals. Welcome back to my channel. I am a journaler, journal maker and teacher of journaling courses, and today is day 14 for the Inspiration Journal course, where I'm sharing how I created this collage art journal. If you would like to follow along at home, there are daily collage prompts and also a journaling prompt for those who would like to add actual writing to your journals as well. And so our collage prompt for today is movie. The journaling prompt that goes with this is wonder. So you could choose any movie if you want, but if you wanted to do the same sort of prompt that I'm doing, I'm thinking about movies that instill in me a feeling of wonder. And so what I've got here is a scanned copy of a DVD that I loved when I was a kid, Sleeping Beauty. And I just scanned the front cover of the DVD box and then the back cover as well and printed them out. As you can see here, I accidentally double-sided the printing with one of my other favourite movies, which I scanned the cover of The Never-Ending Story, which I have documented in one of my other journals, the Anchor Journal. And yeah, I got this book page from a Princess Treasury Disney book, and the story Sleeping Beauty was in there, and so I just thought that was kind of fitting. No one else would know that that was behind this picture that I've just stuck on, but for me it just has that added connection that this page that I'm using actually comes from the story of Sleeping Beauty. So that's kind of cool. So I'm just using it as a frame, I guess, with the beautiful vines and the leaves and the flowers. And so I thought that was so fitting, literally, and just trimming it down so that it will fit onto this narrow book page, which is a Yellow Pages phone book. And yeah, there's a little bit of a gap at the top and the bottom of the page. It doesn't quite reach the height of this book because it's quite narrow and quite tall and long. So I just used some pretty washi tape that I got from Washi Wednesday to go along the top and the bottom, just a strip at the top and a strip at the bottom. And I featured a washi tape that has some purple and pink flowers on it, so I thought that tied in really well with that border around the picture. And then for the back, this page is also from a Disney book, both of which I got from an op shop, and it was just one of the end papers. So I often pull out the end papers of books because they're usually blank, and sometimes you get lucky and they have a pretty pattern or they have a pretty design on them. So this one was quite fun with an interesting design on it, so I'm just using that as a background pretty much. And then I don't have to include anything at the top or bottom, like a strip of washi tape or anything, because the page around the corners or around the borders of this Yellow Pages is yellow and the page that I'm sticking onto the page is also yellow, so it kind of blends in. And so there's nothing else I really need to do to prepare this page. The strip of washi tape down the center of the pages, that is William Morris design washi tape, also that I got from Washi Wednesday. I really like the wide washi tapes in particular because I use them all the time for my spines, and I find the narrower ones, yeah, it just doesn't give as much coverage, and so you're safe having the wider washi tapes that it's definitely going to cover what you need to cover. And with the spine where it's, you know, a hinge, I like having that extra coverage just in case, so it won't lift off, and so that I can add something else over the top where it meets, so that there's no blank space underneath it or in between. So yeah, I'm just going to put the front cover on the left-hand side page, the back cover of that DVD on the other side. I was playing around whether I used this leftover piece here to cover up the phone book, but yeah, like I said, I went with the washi tape option just to give a bit more decorative, a bit of more decoration to the page. And then yeah, it's a really simple page, this one, because I guess the DVD covers were so large when I printed them out. You could definitely print yours out much smaller if you want more writing space, But for me, yeah, I already had those printed out, so I thought, I don't want to chuck these out. I had them printed out for maybe 5 years now, and they've just been sitting in one of my folders, and I was like, let's do something with that. Finally, this is the place. This is what my inspiration journal is for, is to put all those things that speak to me, that mean something to me, that inspire me, but they don't necessarily go together. There's no theme or anything. It's just things that I've kept that I like, that I have a landing place in this book for all of those pieces. And so this gave me a chance to, instead of having it stored in a folder that I rarely look at, now it's kept in a beautiful journal that I love flipping through the pages of, and added my writing to, so I can have those stories documented about why I love these pieces, or what it connects me to, what it means to me, all that kind of thing. So even though it's a really simple page, to me, I love it because it features something that I love. So the story behind it is, when I was a kid, movies were a huge part of my life. In the video yesterday, I talked about how books were a big part of my life, and I always knew that. But it was only recently that I learned, looking back and reflecting on my life, that movies were actually a huge part of my life too. Every weekend, we would hire the 7 weeklies for $7. So you get 7 movies for $7 for the 7 days, and like every week. So that meant I watched movies every single week of my life almost. And I would often play them over and over again. I'd watch them and then just keep watching them if I really liked it. Yeah, just grew up on movies, and discovered this one, Sleeping Beauty. And because I was that kind of kid who loved fairy tales and Disney and the princesses and all of that kind of thing, the gowns, the dresses, the beautiful tiaras and crowns and fairies and wands and mermaids, I loved all that kind of stuff. So this movie was pretty much the epitome of a movie that had all the things that I loved. The beautiful gowns, the fairies, the crowns, there was music and singing and dancing. I loved it. I absolutely loved this movie so much. And, you know, it gave me that feeling of wonder watching it, that feeling of just, look at how beautiful this world is. And I would pretend I was in that world. When I was at my grandma's house once for a holiday, I spent some time in her garden by myself, and I would just pretend I was Sleeping Beauty, and I would sing the songs that she sang from this movie as I sat in the garden and looked at all the flowers and the petals, and I just pretended, I was Rosebud. That's her name in the movie, Rosebud. Anyway, so I've almost finished this page. Like I said, really simple, real quick. But if you want to see the journaling part of this video, that's over on my Patreon every day for this course. There is also some extra journaling videos over on my Patreon if you want to hear some more stories that I have to share. So I'll see you over there. Special thank you to all my beautiful patrons who supported in May. Thank you for allowing me to do this for another month. I hope you absolutely love being a patron and all the extra rewards you get over on my Patreon. You get access to extra videos and printables and personal updates, first access to my journals, and much more. So if you'd like to become a patron in June, feel free to check out the link in the description box to my Patreon.